Professor Urmi Shah from IT/ICT Department of LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. In this session, we will be starting with another module of analog and digital communication subject, that is amplitude modulation scheme. This is the third chapter of our course. Up till now, we have discussed introduction to communication system, what are the elements of communication system, how our day-to-day life or the real-life applications are related with communication system, what are the factors which are affecting those applications that we have seen in terms of another chapter, that is noise. What are the sources of noise from where our communication channel is affected, that we have seen in that module. Few more examples also we have seen by calculating various formulae and theoretical analysis of noise. From this session we will be starting with third chapter that deals with the different modulation schemes of analog communication system. One of the first or the simplest modulation scheme in this category is amplitude modulation technique. So let's start with this chapter. In this session we are going to cover following topics. So here we will be seeing elements of analog modulation, amplitude modulation, modulation index for AM equation. So these things we are going to cover in this session. The next we will be seeing is the comparison of amplitude modulation scheme with other modulation scheme, how it is better, what are its drawbacks, everything we are going to cover in this module. So for today's session, let's start with the elements of analog communication. So what is basically an analog communication? Till now we are talking a lot about communication, what is communication channel, what are its elements, and lot of we have said about communication system and its application. But all of you know what is analog communication? Analog communication is a communication channel or communication system in which whenever we are communicating, the signal is in form of continuous wave or it is in the form of analog nature. Analog nature means it is in the form of continuous wave. Continuous signal is transmitted from one end to another end. It is not in form of digital, either on or off. No such signal are called analog signal. It is simply continuously or it is analog in nature. So whenever those signals we are transmitting or receiving in our communication system, that communication is known as analog communication system. The basic example of analog system is simple speech signal or audio signal. Let's take our example. I am communicating all of you by this video or by this session. So this is the transmission or reception of analog signal. This is a basic example of analog communication system. The next we are going to see what are the elements of this communication system. So basically, analog communication is having conversion of signal from analog form to analog form only. Whenever transmitter is transmitting analog information, receiver will receive analog information only. No form change of signal is done in this communication channel. One may ask why we are modulating this signal. If you want to transmit analog and receive analog only, then why there is a need of modulation? Modulation is done whenever the medium is having some band frequency limitation or whenever the medium is band pass in nature or the channel is having band pass. That means if you have to transmit a signal in certain frequency range only, then you have to perform modulation, because we don't have all the frequency spectrum available for all the types of signal. So we have to make it band limited, which can be done by using modulation process only. So that's the need why we are performing modulation in our communication system. In this session or in this chapter, we will be seeing why we are performing different kinds of modulation, which is the best modulation, and this is the classification of analog to analog conversion, or analog communication can be classified in these three types of modulation scheme, that is amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, and phase modulation. Here we are varying one of the parameter of signal in terms of amplitude, frequency, and phase. These are the three parameters of any signal: amplitude, frequency, and phase. At a time we will vary one, or we will modulate one, and we will perform the communication. So we will be seeing which one is better, which one is having limitations, while studying all these three kinds of modulation scheme. So the first one which we are going to study is amplitude modulation. In amplitude modulation, one thing is common, that the input will be analog in nature, that is your message signal or modulating signal, which you are seeing in red color, is analog in nature. It is continuously moving. So this is your message signal or modulating signal. Now you need to convert it in the available frequency range. So we will multiply this message signal or modulating signal with the carrier signal. Carrier signal is again analog in nature. You can see the black color one signal. That is the carrier signal. Carrier signal simply carries the message signal from transmitter to receiver end. It is just used for modulation purpose. At the end of receiver, we will be retrieving our message signal back from these modulated signal. Whenever we will multiply message signal with this carrier signal, at the end we will have is your modulated signal. The signal which is here in terms of blue signal, that is your modulated signal, which you will be applying to your communication channel for further process. So blue signal is your modulated signal, and you can see the frequency spectrum is having the carrier frequency Fc. The frequency spectrum is exactly in middle for this carrier frequency. It is having equal parts, left hand side also and right hand side also. So this is amplitude modulation. If you want to understand it in similar terms, we can say that amplitude modulation is basically we are changing our amplitude of message signal and transferring that signal to communication medium. Here, the carrier signal is modulated in terms of amplitude value. The modulating signal is the envelope of carrier signal. Envelope means it is just carrying the message signal in form of carrier. The required bandwidth for this amplitude modulation is 2B. 2B is twice the bandwidth of modulating signal. B is the bandwidth of modulating signal. So this is the bandwidth, range of frequencies required to transfer this amplitude modulated signal from transmitter end to receiver. Since on both the side of carrier frequency Fc, we have equal spectrum. This we have seen in this slide, that at Fc on left hand side and right hand side you will have equal portion. You have equal identical space or identical frequency spectrum. So if you can discard one half, the bandwidth can become smaller. But here the overall bandwidth is 2B, that is twice the bandwidth of modulated signal. This is all about amplitude modulation. The next is, what is the bandwidth? The total bandwidth required for amplitude modulated signal can be determined from the bandwidth of our audio or message signal. That is, B is the bandwidth of modulated, or we can say, message signal. So the overall amplitude modulated bandwidth BAM is equal to twice the bandwidth of our audio signal or message signal. So this is about the amplitude modulated bandwidth. Now, what is the range of frequency allotted for these amplitude modulation scheme? See, every modulation scheme is having some range of frequencies. In that range of frequencies only we can perform modulation. So the frequency range for these amplitude modulation is from 530 kilohertz frequency to 1700 kilohertz frequency. So the range of frequency for AM is 530 kilohertz to 1700 kilohertz. This is the band allocation whenever you are performing amplitude modulated system. Whenever you will use AM modulation scheme, at that time the range of frequencies is from 530 kilohertz to 1700 kilohertz. In this range of frequencies only, you will be able to transmit your signal from one end to another end. So this is the band allocation for AM signal. Now let's understand the time domain representation of AM signal. So here we can see that the modulating signal is represented in form of sinusoidal signal. Let the modulating signal be a sinusoidal signal, so we can represent in the mathematical form of sine or cos. So here we have taken as EM is equal to EM cos omega mt, where small em is your modulated frequency and capital EM is the energy of your message signal. Cos omega mt, omega is the modulating frequency or modulating frequency of your message signal. That is your omega mt. So EM is your instantaneous amplitude of modulating signal. Capital EM is your peak modulating amplitude. Omega m is equal to 2 pi fm. See, this is the formulation for angular frequency. Omega is equal to 2 pi f. So omega is your angular frequency and f is your frequency of modulating signal. So the carrier signal again you can define in terms of the amplitude modulation parameter, that is EC is equal to capital EC cos omega ct, where small ec is your instantaneous amplitude of carrier signal. Capital EC is your peak carrier amplitude, that is the amplitude of the carrier signal, and omega c is the frequency for your carrier. Omega c is equal to 2 pi fc. Fc is the frequency of carrier signal. So this is the time domain or mathematical representation of amplitude modulated signal. Further, it can be defined as EAM, that is the amplitude of modulated signal, which is done using AM modulation scheme. So EAM is equal to A cos 2 pi FCT. A is your instantaneous value of envelope of AM wave, and it is represented as summation of carrier amplitude and message signal amplitude, that is EC plus small em. So EC plus capital EM cos 2 pi FMT is your A value. A is the value of the envelope part which is going to transfer from transmitter to receiver end. So total overall AM wave you can represent in form of EAM is equal to A cos 2 pi FCT. In place of A we will write EC plus EM cos 2 pi FMT multiplied by cos 2 pi FCT. So here you can see this is the overall time domain representation of AM signal. your EM by EC. Both equation if I am dividing by EC, then EM by EC is your modulation index. Modulation index signifies that at this index your signal has been transmitted. It will define whether there is a loss of signal or not. That is the definition of modulation index. So modulation index M is equal to EM by EC. And overall time domain representation of AM signal is EAM is equal to EC multiplied by 1 plus M cos 2 pi FMT whole multiplied by cos 2 pi FCT. So this is the derivation of amplitude modulated signal. So in this session we have studied basically what is AM signal, what is amplitude modulation, what is the band frequency for AM modulation, what is the band allocated and bandwidth for amplitude modulation, what is the time domain representation of amplitude modulated signal. So all these things we have covered in this session. These are the reference books for this topic which we have discussed in this session. One of the finest books for this topic is the first book, that is Rudy Cullen. Dennis Rudy and John Cullen are the authors for the Electronic Communication System book, so that you can refer for this session. Thank you very much for watching this session. In the upcoming session, we will be discussing with few more amplitude modulation schemes. What are its classification? What are the variations in amplitude modulation scheme? That we will be seeing in the future session. Thank you very much for watching this session.